There's a moment in every trader's life when the market stops being numbers on a screen and becomes a mirror. That's where I want to begin today, because Jesse Livermore, the man many call the greatest trader who ever lived, didn't survive the market because he was fast, or smart, or lucky. He survived because he discovered a hidden edge that most traders never even notice. And the shocking part, it has nothing to do with charts or indicators, or secret Wall Street tricks. It begins inside you. Before we go deeper, let me ask you something I often ask myself. When the market moves against you truly, against you, what do you feel? First, fear, anger, confusion, a need to get your money back immediately. Comment below, because your answer might reveal more than you think. Now, let me set the scene. Imagine the year is 1907. Livermore is standing in a smoky bucket shop, watching prices jump on a chalkboard. People around him are shouting, panicking, sweating. The same emotions you and I see every day in modern markets, just without the smoke and the chalk. But Livermore, he stands there silent, almost motionless, because he's not watching the market. He's watching himself, watching the market. That was his hidden edge. Not prediction, not analysis, not even courage. The ability to step outside the storm and study your own emotional weather while it's happening. Let me tell you something that took me years to accept. Most traders don't lose to the market. They lose to their reactions to the market. Think about the last time you took a bad trade. Did the market truly force you into it? Or did something inside you push your hand? Maybe it was boredom. Maybe it was revenge. Livermore once said, "The human side of every person is the greatest enemy of the average investor." He didn't say the market is your enemy. He said, "You are." But that realization didn't break him. It empowered him. And that is the foundation of this documentary. Livermore's hidden edge that keeps traders alive. This isn't another be-disciplined lecture. You've heard that 1,000 times. This is something deeper, something philosophical, psychological, almost spiritual in the way it reshapes the trader's identity. Let me take you behind the curtain of what Livermore truly discovered. Because most people only know his big trades. They memorize the crashes he predicted, the millions he made, the legends that surround his name, but they ignore the inner mechanics of his survival. Livermore learned how to detach his identity from his trades. He didn't confuse being wrong with being a failure. He didn't confuse losing money with losing. He didn't confuse temporary conditions with permanent truth. And in a way, isn't that what kills most traders today? The feeling that one losing trade means you're not good enough. That one red day means you're behind. That one mistake means you don't belong in this game. Livermore saw this psychological spiral destroy traders long before algorithms, crypto, or meme stocks even existed. He realized something very few ever realize. The market doesn't kill traders. Their inability to stay emotionally intact under uncertainty does. And he built an entire trading philosophy around protecting that emotional integrity. Let me share a moment that changed my own trading life. Years ago, I watched a trader blow up in real time. One loss became two. Two became four. Four became a cascade of frantic clicks, sweaty hands, and gasping breaths. He was no longer trading, he was fighting for psychological oxygen. As I watched, I suddenly understood what Livermore meant by a man must believe in himself and his judgment if he expects to make a living at this game. Not because confidence makes you right, but because confidence keeps you functioning when you're wrong. That's Livermore's hidden edge. Not certainty, stability. The market rewards the stable mind far more than the brilliant mind. This entire episode, every scene, every example, every lesson will unfold from this single truth. You cannot control the market, but you can control the version of yourself that shows up to face it. And when a trader masters that, the game changes. The noise fades. The fear loosens its grip. The randomness becomes tolerable. And the trader is no longer the hunted, but the hunter. As we move into the next section, I'll expose the psychological paradox that traps most traders. The inner conflict Livermore fought against his entire life, and the exact pattern that still destroys modern traders today. But before we go there, I want to hear from you. Have you ever felt like you were fighting your own mind more than the market? Share your experience in the comments or story. Might help another trader survive. Every trader searches for certainty, but the ones who survive learn to live without it. That's where our journey must end. Not with a secret indicator, not with some clever trick hidden in Wall Street's basement, but with a state of mind Jesse Livermore spent a lifetime carving out of chaos. Let me draw the curtain back one last time, because if Section 1 showed you where Livermore's hidden edge comes from, this final section must show you why it matters now more than ever. In a world where markets move faster, emotions burn hotter, and destruction happens with one swipe of a thumb, I want you to picture this. You're sitting alone. The trading day is over. The room quiet enough that you can hear your own breathing. Your charts are closed. Your phone is face down. There is no price movement left to hide inside. It's just you and the truth. And in that silence, you finally ask the question Livermore asked himself long before the rest of the world caught up. Am I trading the market, or am I trading my emotions? Most traders never answer this. Some never even dare ask it. But the ones who do thaw, ones with courage, humility, and a strange kind of honesty, they discover the same edge Livermore found decades before us. Survival comes from mastering your inner landscape. Let that sink in. You can be wrong for a month and still survive. You can misjudge a trend, misread a chart, misfire an entry, and still walk away intact. But the moment your emotions take full control, you're finished. Not by the market's hand, but by your own. Now, let me take you inside the final psychological paradox. Livermore understood better than anyone. Traders believe they need more information, but what they actually need is more self-control. They think they need better predictions, but what they actually need is better boundaries. They think survival comes from accuracy, but Livermore knew survival comes from consistency of mind. He once said, "It was never my thinking that made the big money for me. It was always my sitting." People love that quote, but they misunderstand it. He didn't mean sit on a trade. He meant sit on yourself. Hold your impulses still. Hold your fears still. Hold your ego still. Because the moment you break yourself, the market doesn't even need to break you. You've already done the job for it. Now, let me take you to a more cinematic moment. 1. Traders rarely talk about. After a massive winning streak, Livermore didn't celebrate. He didn't call it luck. He didn't even call it skill. He called it danger, because he knew success creates carelessness. Carelessness creates emotional looseness. And emotional looseness creates destruction. Modern traders don't realize this until it's too late. You know the feeling. We hit a big win. You feel unstoppable. You feel smarter than the market. And suddenly, you're no longer trading setups. You're trading confidence. But here's the raw truth. Livermore lived by confidence. Without discipline is a loaded gun. And the trader holding it is always pointed at himself. So let me speak to you personally. Trader to trader, your edge is not your chart pattern. It's not your broker. It's not your leverage. It's not your strategy. It's not your newsfeed. It's not your YouTube education. Your edge, the only one that keeps you alive, is your ability to remain the same person, no matter what the market does to you. If you can be calm in fear, humble in success, patient in uncertainty, and unmoved by noise, then you have the one thing the majority of traders will never possess. Because most traders think the market tests their money, but Livermore knew the market tests their identity. And now, as this episode closes, I want you to ask yourself the question that separates the casualties from the survivors. If the market stripped away my ego, my excitement, my fear, and my impulse, what would be left of me? Whatever remains, that is your real trading edge. Not your wins, not your losses, not your technical skill, your inner stillness. The quiet space inside you where panic cannot reach, where FOMO cannot whisper, where greed cannot pull you apart. That is the place Livermore survived from. And if you learn to survive from that place too, then it doesn't matter how many storms the market throws at you, you will still stand. Before I close, let me ask you one final question. The kind that sparks real reflection. Do you believe the biggest battle in trading is against the market, or against your own mind? Drop your answer in the comments. Your insight might be exactly what another trader needs to hear today. And with that, thank you for stepping into this journey with me, into the psychology, the philosophy, and the hidden edge that kept Jesse Livermore alive long after others were washed away. Until the next story, the next lesson, and the next deep dive into the mindset of traders who shaped history. Stay disciplined, stay aware, and most importantly, stay alive in the market.